Hi, welcome back to Dawn Digs In. Today we are going to dig into our journey. The year is coming to an end, and I know it's not here yet, but it is really close, and things are going to get really busy, and we're not going to get this done. So take a minute now to do a few of these things so that you are ready for the new year and ready to start on the next year of a journey. Now, do you have days when you're mad at yourself? You're just mad because maybe you could have done better, you could have been better, you didn't accomplish the goals that you'd set out, and you kind of beat yourself up a little bit. Well, I want you to know that the journey is life, and life goes that way. And wherever you are in your journey, your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on, it changes. Your journey will change so many times over your life, and it's really good to be able to look back on your journey and see where it went and how it went and what brought these changes on, because change is good and it's going to happen. Your workout that you do today may not be the workout you do in 6 months. Maybe you have an injury and you have to revamp that for some reason. Maybe you did HIIT and running and now you have to do yoga because that's what your body is asking you to do. Maybe you've developed an allergy to a certain food that you like and you can't eat that anymore. Or you've got celiac or something that is causing you to not be able to process certain things and you have to make changes in your diet. This is all a part of life. And we need to be aware that change is a good thing. There is nothing wrong, and don't be upset with yourself when you have to make changes. So, journaling. Now, I know I've talked on this for the last couple of years about journaling, and I am not a good journaler. I talk about it, but I'm not good at it. So I'm going to show you my journals for this year alone. Okay? And this is kind of scary, and please, this is just what I got. This is this year's, okay? This is this year's. And there's a couple more. And there's a couple more somewhere around the house. Why do they look like this? Well, that's my ADHD, okay? I am a writer on anything that I find. When my mother passed, we found all of these envelopes and things in her house where she had just written little things in the corner of all kinds of things, little notes and things she had to remember. And that's what I do. And that is kind of how I journal. It's bits and bobs and all over the place. But I still write it down, so I don't think it really makes a difference how organized that journal is, as long as you are taking a moment to jog those things. So I do have one for food. I do have one for my workout, because I do like to keep my workout one separate. Then I have one where I talk about my mood and what I'm feeling. I'm trying this year, one of my goals is to combine that all in one. I've yet to find a journal that really encompasses all that. I have a few that I really like that I'm going to link for you, but my best journal is the dollar store. I can write on it what I want. They're $1.50. They're lined. They're cheap. You can put stickers on them so you know what they are. But my problem is I have so many of these that I forget what they are, and I grab randomly. So I don't understand what that is, but I do that. I grab randomly. I need to write something, so I grab a book and I just open it to any page, like any page. If you look through any of my journals, you will see that there is not writing on every page. There's like writing. I'll start at the back of the book, and then I'll flip the front of the book, and then the middle is empty. And I don't know what I can tell you about that, but that is how I journal. I don't think it's wrong, as long as I get it done. But next year, I'm going to be a little more organizing and focused in my journaling. So this is where you have days when you get mad at yourself, right? You're like, I didn't accomplish what I wanted to do. I've got a mess going on here. My husband just shakes his head when he looks at it. Like, what is that? Like, because he's Mr. Organized. Everything goes in the spot, and I'll never be there. That's obviously why we work so well together, because I will never be that organized person. I'm always going to be this mess. But I don't get mad at myself about that, because I know that I'm doing good things for myself. So to go into next year, I want to go back through, I know it's a lot, these journals, and find what was important to me. What worked for me? What didn't work for me? What did I want to do to accomplish last year that maybe I didn't get to? But I don't really have a lot. Now, last year I didn't make resolutions. Last year I decided that I'm not going to do that, because resolutions just get broken, right? I'm going to eat right. I'm going to work out every day. And then 2 weeks into it, you're like, whatever, it's not happening. So I didn't set resolutions. I just set some goals that I wanted to try and do better at this, and this. That worked for me. I did a lot better at that, as opposed to all the sayings that we heard and all the things that I know I have said to you and I say to other people, because I think it's important that we say them, but change is good. It's you versus you. Start with the end in mind. Start messy. Punch fear in the face. Like, all of these things are really important in your journey because you can't change if you don't face the fear, right? You have to accept what is now to move on and make changes in the future. So for next year, I am going to get all of this compiled and try and make a journal that's a little more sense, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll buy some stickers. I don't know. That would just be, I'm sure it would have stickers everywhere because that's just the way I am. You know, you ever watch Clutterbug? Oh, butterfly here. It's just, it will be everywhere. And I honestly, I have journals for everything. Like, I currently have a journal for hot flashes. Like, seriously, I have to keep track of my hot flashes because I was having so much trouble. And I went off topic. I went off the HRT, and all the tests came back negative. Everything is fine, and thank God I am back on the HRT. It's only been 7 days, and it hasn't kicked in yet, but they've definitely gotten less than they were last week, but they were still, like, horrendous. Pages and pages and pages of nonsense, right? Like, I just make nonsensical notes. Then I finally got this nice, neat page going on here, and now it's slowing down because the HRT is starting to work a little bit again. But it was crazy. So this is how I have been doing my journaling. Bunch of crap written down, but it doesn't matter as long as you are doing it and as long as you are setting goals for yourself and you feel accomplished in what you are doing. If you are an organized person, God bless you. If you could do this on a computer, even better. I can't. I need to write. It's okay. I'll never write a book because I can never write more than 5 thoughts at a time. But this is how I'm doing it. So find what works for you and what worked for you last year. So how was your workout? Did you stick with the same workout all year? If you did, that's great. If you didn't, that is great too, because your workout will change as your life goes on. The workout you did in your 20s, 30s, 40s isn't the same as you're doing in your 50s, 60s, 70s. It's just not. And if it is, good for you. If you stuck to the same thing, if you're a runner and you ran your whole life, that is great. I have switched workouts so many times. I think I've done a good half a dozen this year, different workouts. And I'm kind of looking at different things again. I've been with the same 2 things for a little while, and now my body's just saying, okay, time to change up. So for January, I definitely will be changing up again. Not too sure what I'm going to, but when I finish this 90 days of my Tracy Hamelin mix, I will probably go to something else, but it's been working really well for me. And if it's working for you, you don't have to change. Sometimes we just change because we get bored. You know, boredom is okay. If you get bored in your workout, it just means you need to try something else. Not every workout works for every person. I've done some where I've just stood there and gone, are you kidding me? Like, I just can't. I can't. I can't either watch the trainer, or I don't like the moves, or it's just not flowing for me. My workout needs to be quick and efficient and just get her done. I'm just a get her done girl. It's how it goes. So maybe you need to find something new like that. So go back through what you did last year. Write it down. Pros, cons. What was the good things that happened? What were the things that didn't really go the way you planned? And let's start compiling a list of where we want those goals to be for next year. Do we want our eating to be better? Do we want our family time to be better? Do we want to get off social media? What do we want to do better at that maybe we're not doing now? So don't be mad at yourself when you have those bad days, because they happen and they are part of this journey of life. As we know, it will change and change and change. And it doesn't matter how many times you smack yourself about it, it's just going to change. So accept it, find what works for you, and move on. It's really that simple. The thing about this journey is it's not all or nothing. It's never all or nothing. It's a mix of all of these things. You know, we work out and we train to get better at life, not to get better at our workout necessarily. We are the greatest project that we are ever going to work on. There's only one you. There is only one you, and you want to be the best you that you can be. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to compile our lists, get it together, and be ready to move into 2024 with a whole new outlook on where the next year is going to go. How do we want it to look? I have found that my inner energy needs to be in touch with my outer self. Like, this is really important for me. If I'm not feeling that inside, I'm not feeling it outside, or I don't feel I look it on the outside. So energy is a really big part of what I am going to be working on next year, is keeping that positive energy at all times. Whatever it is that you want to do. It all comes down to looking after you. If you don't look after you, you can't do all these things. So it's really important that we start making a list and compiling last year's journals. I know it's going to be a big job. Last year's journals, I want to go through what worked, what didn't. What did I like? What didn't I like? What did I want to accomplish? What didn't I accomplish? So that I will have a list to better prepare myself going into next year to see where I am. It's that simple. I don't want to be in the same place next year because you never are. You don't stay in the same place. You don't grow by staying in the same place. You grow by learning and doing different. So you need to look at what you've done to be able to see where you need to go. What do I need to focus on? I need to focus more on getting my channel better, getting my channel out to more people. And if you're enjoying the content, please hit that like and subscribe. It gets us out to more people. And I was really surprised to see that 70% of the people that watch my channel aren't even subscribed. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it really helps me get it out there. And I love coming to you every week. So hit the button. So if you're new to doing all of this and you're just trying to find some motivation and how do I get started for next year? I want you to start making a list of things that are important to you. I always feel that we're one decision away from change. It's, deciding to do the workout. It's deciding to eat whatever it is to eat. It's deciding to make the cookies. We're one decision away from making a change or making somebody happy or making ourselves happy. So let's start compiling our lists. What worked for us last year? What didn't work for us last year? And we're going to get back together and make this list so that we have our goals set for next year. Again, I'm not doing resolutions. I'm going to set goals for what I want to achieve during the year. And I think this year, it may be a little bit different than it was last year, and it should be, right? Learning and growing, getting better, being better, doing better. All of this comes from setting some type of goals of where you want to be. And that's great. It is great to set goals, and it is great to write them down and journal them and look back and reflect on what happened and what didn't happen. So don't be mad at yourself. Don't have those days when you're just, why didn't I get that done? It's okay, because it's a journey, and it is your journey, and it's personal to you. So start compiling before we get really, really busy, because the season is upon us, and let's see where that journey is going to take us next year. So until I see you next week, I hope you have some awesome workouts. You're amazing. High five.